Building a home or a house is actually not something that you finish in 3 months. It's actually an ongoing process where you continue to add decor pieces or make changes to the house as you live in and make adjustments.
We've been living in this 96 square meters 4-room HDB flat for the past 5 months.
This is our first home and we've enjoyed building it together. So building this home, we started off by going to Pinterest to see what some ideas. We realized that we both like something clean, neutral, perhaps with a bit of wood element, so it makes the space look more calming.
One of the things that both of us had in common was that we wanted a larger space. So rather than having more rooms and a smaller space for each room, we decided to go for less rooms but bigger space for each room.
Yeah, so that's why we decided to knock down both common bedrooms to make the living room bigger as well as to make the bedroom bigger. We decided to go with Valentina from Hello House, and she was introduced to us by a friend who is well familiar with the interior design sector. We actually only spoke to 2 interior designers, and we decided to go with Valentina because she actually really understood what kind of design that we like, and she provided a very good mood board that was pretty close to what we were looking for. So we realized that she has the same vision as us.
When you're choosing an interior designer, we need someone we can trust. We felt that we could really trust her and she vibed well with us, so I think that was one of the big factors as well.
So I grew up in a home that had quite a big living space, and I felt that I really wanted that in our own home as well. So in future, if we have our own kids, they can play around in the living room.
Similar to Joe, I think when I was young, I used to stay in a house with a fairly large living room as well. You know, HDBs, they're getting smaller and smaller, right? When we first saw the layout, we were like, oh my god, it's so constrictive.
We made quite an unconventional decision to basically knock down 2 of our bedrooms. We knocked down the study room to make the living space slightly bigger. When we spoke to Valentina, she also mentioned that in future, if we want to, we can add like a glass door to this area so that we can have like a little room, perhaps in future for the kids or even for a study corner if we need to. We did really enjoy the flexibility in how we could arrange the house. So the house can actually transform according to different stages of our lives as well.
And we also broke down the wall for our master bedroom. From 3 bedroom, 1 living room, 1 kitchen. Now it's 1 bedroom, 1 big living room and a kitchen. So less rooms, but we find it a lot more comfortable this way. Yeah. So Jo had to move out of her old house in like 2.5 months. So we had quite a tight timeline for our renovation, and we spoke to Valentina about this, and she managed to help us to like shorten the timeline to quicken things up so that we can get the house before Jo was homeless. We actually started our renovation later than some neighbours, but we finished it before them. That was cool. Yeah. We were also planning our wedding at the same time. We wanted a minimal, kind of like a fuss-free renovation journey, which I think was achieved because I think we worked well with Valentina. And she basically did everything before we even asked, right? Like, so we didn't need to go and check up on the works, check up on her much. So I think it was a very smooth journey.
For the living room, we really wanted it to provide quite a calming, soothing vibe so that, you know, after a long day at work, when we come back, we can feel quite relaxed. Apart from the wood furnitures, we also included decor items like an olive tree, a vase, and also a typewriter that we used for our wedding reception. We also added a huge white artwork that we actually worked on together, so that was quite fun.
I think the living room is really just a place for us to relax. After work, when we're tired, we just sit on the sofa, we watch Netflix, Singles Inferno together.
One Apprentice.
Yeah. So it's really a place for us to relax and then like maybe chit-chat, you know, before we start getting ready for bed.
This study table actually acts as a dining table as well. Apart from eating here, work from home days, we also work here. So I think this is quite multifunctional in a way.
I think because we broke down a lot of rooms, right? So things have to be a bit more multifunctional. For the kitchen, what we wanted was a very simple, functional kitchen. Both of us, we are working on the weekdays, so we don't really cook a lot. We didn't need like heavy-duty kitchen equipment, you know, so we just kept it simple. Aside from that, we had a little counter that extends out of the kitchen. We can sit down and have a meal there sometimes instead of the dining room as a change of pace.
And that space also acts as an extension of the whole kitchen. So when we want to prep any meals, do any cutting, that is also quite a useful space. Instead of placing our bed in the original master bedroom, we switched it and we placed the bed in the common bedroom instead. So we could really make use of the big space, do a built-in wardrobe that extends all the way and also includes a little vanity table for me to do any makeup and stuff.
I think nowadays HDB bedrooms are really small. There's really barely enough walking space. We wanted a king-size bed because, sometimes I snore, sometimes she rolls. So we wanted enough space. That's why we broke down one of the walls to ensure that even with a king-size bed, there's enough space for us to walk.
At my previous house, I also used to, exercise in my room. So I also wanted a bedroom that can accommodate that lifestyle so that, we could have space for us to just chill in the room, listen to music, watch shows, or even exercise.
So one thing I really wanted was the bathtub. It's not a built-in bathtub. We got like a standalone one. Because the toilet structure is such that if you want to build in, you kind of have to extend the size of the wall and cut into the door.
And I think that also makes the whole bathroom look slightly smaller if we do a built-in.
Yeah. So the standalone option was very convenient, fuss-free. And it's easier to clean also. And we've been enjoying the bathtub since. I think generally during the renovation of the house and even until now, every time something gets completed, like it's a new furniture that comes in, every time seeing that progress is something very fun. It's like a new piece is added into the puzzle and like your home is being more complete. So that was kind of nice.
Building a home or a house is actually not something that you finish in 3 months. It's actually an ongoing process where you continue to add decor pieces or make changes to the house as you live in and make adjustments.
So things will continue to change even for the next 5 years, 10 years.